Hello my interior design family, welcome to today's video, and today I want to talk to you about how to create that red and luxurious Christmas. We're going to talk about everything from the small accessories to the Christmas tree and all the way down to the entrance, so that you have everything that you need to be able to create a luxurious red themed Christmas. And if you're anything like me, red is probably associated with Christmas for you. Red is a color that has been associated with Christmas since forever, also including Santa and everything else. Now, how do we create this luxurious red Christmas? I'm going to give you 7 steps. And I hope you're so excited and you're just as excited as I am about this Christmas season and decorating your tree, decorating your home, obviously for yourself and for your own joy, but also beyond that, for you to be able to give that to other people, right? Other people that are in your home, such as family, and also to invite people into that space, that's extended family and friends, for them to be able to enjoy what you have been able to create. And I hope that you do make this Christmas a big celebration. This is the 7 steps to create that luxurious red Christmas tree. Now let's get right into it. The first of this is tying in Christmas everywhere. And what do I mean by tying in Christmas? You want to have that thread, right? Through everything, from the tree to the gifts, to your tablescape. So one way in which you can tie in red as a theme is using the Christmas bow, a red Christmas bow. You can get yourself a red or velvet Christmas bow. You can get smaller ones that you can put on your Christmas tree. You could get bigger ones that you could use for gift wrapping, and then you could take other velvet and satin finished ribbon and use it to rub up your napkins for your tablescape. So this is one way in which you can tie in red everywhere, and those are 3 ways in which red has already been mentioned. So you have that red on your Christmas tree, you then take that red and you put it onto your gifts and you put it onto your tablescape. But you don't need to stop there. You can also add red to your mantle. So if you have any decorations on your mantle, you can tie in a few red bows there, and as well as your staircase. So it's a huge focal point when it comes to Christmas decorations. So you could also have your red bows tied in there. So that's the first way. The second way to bring in that luxurious, rich, red Christmas feeling into your home that is the tradition and is classic is through the Christmas tree. I hope you're as excited as I am about decorating the Christmas tree, and I know that you are if you're watching this video. So one way in which you bring in that that red into your Christmas tree is, of course, by using the red bubbles. But I want you to layer them. This is where the interior design and the designer aspect of what we're creating comes in, right? So we're layering our red on the Christmas tree. So you could take the red as a theme color, and we're going to decorate the Christmas tree with the Christmas bubbles. How do we do that? The first way is using glass. So you can get yourself Christmas bubbles that have glass effect or glass finish. And then the second way is you get another set that has a matte finish. And then you get yourself a third and final set that has a reflective or a shimmery finish. So that way you have red, but you have red in 3 different layers. Another way to bring the red up a notch is by, of course, getting yourself some berries, right? So, but then when you're getting the berries, you can get the berries that are just red, or you can get the berries that are frosted as well, and having these berry branches tied into your Christmas tree together with your different shades and your different types of red Christmas bubbles can really be an impactful feeling. And to again bring it up a notch, you can also add a few of those Christmas bows, and then you can add one other accessory piece. So you could add in a gold just to break up that red a little bit. So that is the second way to bring in that red Christmas, and that is through the Christmas tree. Now let's jump right into the third way. The third way is about the background, the backdrop of our red. We want our red to pop and to be seen, right? But how do we do that? Well, we don't want to make it tacky by having red everywhere and having red with everything. We want it to be a luxurious and classic feel, right? So we need to have a neutral base. So for example, when it comes to your tablescapes, you can have a neutral base, a neutral color. Yeah, so neutral covers for your sofas, neutral colors everywhere else, so that such as white and beige and cream, right? That will support the red for it to pop. Now that we have talked about that table and that table elegance that you're bringing in, so you can imagine that you have that beautiful neutral linen table cover on your table, and then you layer that with a red bow. So this is what I mean, that you want to have your red pop by supporting it with these neutral colors. And then, now that we're talking about the tablescape, we want to also address lighting. And this is the fifth way in which you can bring in red into your color scheme. You can bring in that warm lighting through candles. Candles are one of the best ways in which you can bring in that lighting, warm lighting, and it just creates a cozy feeling. It invites everyone in. It's a feeling of having a fire, and traditionally we have been attracted to fire for warmth and as well for community. This is where we would tell stories. So it still does invoke that warm coziness and the desire for togetherness in the human brain in terms of psychology, as studies have shown. So we want to make sure that we're bringing in that warmth into our space. You can have candles not just on the tablescape for your dining space room, but you can have candles in your living space, on your mantle, everywhere that you can. But of course, I want to bring in the safety safety tip is that, of course, sometimes you might live with children or with pets, or maybe just in general you don't want to risk fire, right? Forgetting to turn off your candles and risk fire. If you don't feel safe having those candles lit everywhere in your space, right? You can always get 4 candles, the ones that are battery powered or the ones that can be charged, but make sure you're getting them with a warm light and not the cool light, because the warm light brings it that cozy feeling of togetherness. So I do definitely recommend that if you're having candles scattered around and you just want to have a jolly good Christmas, enjoying your time with your friends and family, of course 4 candles are actually a very good safety feature, because you can enjoy your Christmas without worrying about the safety. But if you're just decorating, for example, your tablescape for a dinner, it is of course very beautiful to have the real candles, but at the end of the day, if you get really good full ones, which you actually can find very inexpensively online, you can have a similar look. Now that we've talked about the fire and the warmth that we're getting from these hints of candles either on the table or on the mantle or by the fireplace, right? Naturally, when we have that warmth, we also want to address a scent. So you want to be getting yourself candles as well, or room scents that bring in a Christmas, right? So people are not just coming into your space and seeing the visuals of this beautifully layered reds that are tying through everything from your Christmas tree to your tablescape to everything else. You also want to awaken another sense. You want to make them feel the Christmas at a deeper level, and this is what brings in the luxury of it, because now you're tapping into different senses. And of course, studies have shown that the more senses you can tap into, the more luxurious the feeling that people can feel in that space. Is, for example, going to a spa. You have the sense, you have the sound, you have the feeling of touch, right, of someone giving you a massage or a facial, and you feel like it is a very luxurious feeling. And this is why. So using that concept of that luxury feeling that you get from a spa, right, we want to bring that into our Christmas, so our Christmas feels just as luxurious. So we have tapped into the site with those reds, the red bubbles on the Christmas tree, the bows on the presents, the red on our tablescape. Now we bring in a scent. We bring in a Christmas scent. You can buy candles with Christmas scents. That's the easiest way. If you don't like candles, you can get room sprays. And of course, the most traditional and classic way is by boiling some cinnamon with some cloves and maybe some dried oranges, just boiling some water on the stove, and as the water simmers, it just fills the room, the house, with a very beautiful Christmassy scent. And of course, this is beautiful to do just before guests arrive, or before people come, or before you host one of your Christmas parties or Christmas events. And of course, yeah, I do recommend having a candle, like a Christmas scented candle, just throughout the Christmas season. From the day you put up your Christmas tree, you want to enjoy Christmas, and every single day. You don't want Christmas to be one day. So enjoy the entire season. And of course, on the day that guests are coming in, then of course you want to take it up a notch. But even for yourself, so you can marinate in the spirit of Christmas and really enjoy it. Because I do believe that things like Christmas are to be enjoyed, so I want you to enjoy it to the maximum. So that's the sixth way. And now we have our seventh and final way of bringing in the luxurious Christmas red, is by having accessories. I mentioned before that we don't want to have our entire space in red, because that will look tacky. We want red used intentionally. We can get ourselves some velvet cushion covers, and then we can also get ourselves some blankets or some throws that we can use in the living space to decorate and bring in that red color. And if you're like me, you're excited about this, is the entryway. I believe that the entryway does sing and it sets the tone of the home, so you definitely don't want to forget your entryway. And when I talk about the entryway, I'm not only talking about once you're inside the home, I'm even talking about the doorway. So how can you bring in that red? Well, you can get yourself a garland that has a lot of red themes, such as the bows or end berries, and any other way you want to decorate your garland, and you can have that in your entryway. So my darling, if you are not settled on the red and want to find out what other themes exist that you can use this Christmas, then definitely check out the rest of my playlist. I will be having up to 6 different themes that you can have for Christmas. So until that next video, my darling, I will see you next time.